Well, MPs are heading back to Parliament today. It'll be the first time that Prime Minister Mark Carney will square off against Conservative leader PM Poilievre in the House of Commons. CTV's Colton Praill joins us live from Ottawa with those details. Colton, good morning. It's kind of like a back to school for the MPs. What kind of Parliament can Canadians expect for this session of the House of Commons?
Well, it certainly feels like back to school, back to work for these politicians. It is going to be an exciting one. For the first off, we've got Mark Carney and PM Poilievre squaring off in the House of Commons for the first time. And there's always a new element of what that chemistry looks like or what that antagonism might look like coming from both sides. We've seen that the Prime Minister is not afraid to make witty remarks at the expense of his opponents. We've certainly seen how adept Mr. Poilievre can be in the House of Commons. And so how those two work off of each other or attack each other in the House is certainly going to be a new component for this government to have to deal with. More so, though, what are we looking at over this fall? Well, it's certainly going to be economics. It's going to be a focus on that fall budget, the first one that the federal government is going to be delivering. And there's going to be a conversation around the health of the Canadian economy, both from a macro level and from a micro level. The Liberals are talking about major projects. They're talking about nation building. They're talking about moving forward, trying to build, in the words of the Prime Minister, one of the strongest economies in the G7. On the flip side, the Conservatives are really looking at the micro impacts of the federal economy. They're looking at how this trade war with the U.S. has impacted Canadians, job losses that have been caused by that, the cost of housing that's going up, the cost of living that's going up. They're trying to take financial issues and make them emotional issues, make the government respond to the day-to-day pains that Canadians are feeling, the uncertainties that exist in this very tumultuous economic period for the country, and really hammer that home that there needs to be a change. You're seeing two very different contrasting visions of the economy, one that is centered around a hope of building for the future and one that is centered around an immediate need for action to ensure that Canada is on the right path. That's going to be the larger motif that we see over the course of this fall. And the big question for Canadians is how much runway are they going to give the Prime Minister? We've seen so far in the polling that he does still seem to have the support and the understanding from most voters that it is difficult to deal with the U.S., that there is going to be a runway period to get the projects and the economic boosts online that the Prime Minister has promised. But how long does that last? That's going to be the challenge for the Liberal government, especially as they face a very dogged opposition in the House of Commons through PM Poilievre.
Yeah, and we still have that fall budget to look forward to. So how will the economy and Trump's tariffs, which really influenced the outcome of the last election, play on this new session?
It's in that motif, in that larger conversation around the financial health of the country, there is an interesting element to it that's new for both the Liberals and the Conservatives. And it's that right now, Mark Carney is still polling better on those specific issues. Party-wise, these are very strongly Conservative issues. They still tend to outperform the Liberals when it comes to the cost of living, for example, or housing. But leader to leader, Mark Carney still has the faith of Canadians that he can be the person to deliver on these issues. And that's a unique scenario for PM Poilievre and for the Conservatives, who really were able to position themselves as the people putting forward sound economic policy in the last Parliament under Justin Trudeau. And so that adds a new element to all of these discussions, but it also adds a very personal element to these discussions that didn't exist really in the last Parliament when it was PM Poilievre and Justin Trudeau. And that's what makes this so unique, and that's what leaves the Trump trade war on the table for all of these discussions, because until a solution is found there, it gives the opposition, it gives PM Poilievre an opportunity to pick at that belief, to say maybe he's not the guy because he ran on getting a deal done with the Americans and we still don't have one yet. It is a weakness for the Liberals that hasn't manifested quite yet. Canadians have shown patience. Again, how long does that patience last?
Okay, bring out the popcorn. We'll be watching closely today. That's CTV's Colton Praill joining us live from Ottawa. Thank you, Colton.